Hi everybody, my name is Anderson Ortiz. I'm a student of UNAD, a bachelor's degree in foreign languages. And today I'm going to talk about the importance of assessment in the learning process, in the teaching process. So I'm going to talk about from two different perspectives, and it's the perspective of the student and the perspective of the teacher. So let's get started with the perspective of the teacher. Well, it helps us to know if the teaching method we're using is being effective or not. And also it helps us to catch the students' failures, to be able to make action plans with them and to work harder the topics that are harder for them. And that way we will be able to give a better learning. And from the student's perspective, we can say that it allows them to notice their weak points and their strengths. It allows them to stay motivated if the result is good and to form more if it's not good enough. Because if I notice, for instance, that I'm making mistakes in the third person, then I will be able to know, to understand that I need to focus more, that I need to effort more in that topic to be able to dominate it perfectly. And also, if I have good motivation, if I'm not inhibited, I will be able then to digest better the next information and to stay motivated along the process, because it's very important. Motivation is very important in the learning process. It's really a key in that process of learning of the student. And it also gets the students involved in the learning process, because if they didn't have a standard, if they didn't have a responsibility, then they wouldn't find the process motivating enough, especially if they don't have that passion for what they study, if it's English, if it's German, any language, any subject. Now let's talk about the case of Priya and Rahul, where Priya and Rahul are two teachers and they were given one test to solve, one test to check of a student, the same student. So let's see it from the perspective of Rahul. First, the strengths and weaknesses. The strengths of Rahul is that he details every grammar mistake, fixing it himself, and he seems to be an approachable teacher and he gives motivation. His weaknesses, mainly, is that he doesn't give more detailed explanation for the student to understand his mistakes. He doesn't tell him why he fixed it like that, with G for grammar, with C for capital letters, and it's okay. The student knows what is the correct way, but he doesn't know why. That's very important. Now about Priya, well, the strengths of Priya, that she gives concise explanation to the students' mistakes, and gives a special motivation, even giving a star in motivation words. It's very good. Now about her weaknesses, we can say that if the student is on a very basic stage, he won't understand how to solve how to put the right words there and to correct it like the teacher says, because she says C for capital letters, G for grammar. But if the student is very basic, he might find it difficult to make it right. So she should be short of more detailed. Now, what advice would I give to Rahul and to Priya? Well, I will tell Rahul to more than fix the mistakes, also to explain more detail. Not only the one or two mistakes, but all of them, so the students gets to understand and improve. And to Priya, I will suggest her to give more detail to the failures, tell what should have been written in a parenthesis or so. And the third, why they didn't correct the mistake playable? Well, it might be for two possible reasons, and they are that the student didn't put the preposition with passively because they haven't seen the topic yet. And the second is because the phrase has no grammar mistake, also very important grammar mistake, and although the expression playable might sound kind of weird, it's right, it makes sense in the word of a child. If I was the teacher of this learner, I would focus in grammar, especially because it's his mainly failures. In the third person, for instance, he's feeling a lot of needs, so I will focus on that. And how I usually correct writing. Okay, well, I usually correct writing more like Rahul. I put the right word, the right grammar, and after I explain it in detail to the student, so in the future, he might do it much better. Thanks for watching.